He built an empire on ice. She lived in the shadows. Witnessed the moment a ruthless billionaire's life was transformed by an unseen act of kindness, shattering his world of profit and loss. The Vance mansion stood tall in the heart of Chicago, its walls of glass and steel reaching into the sky like a symbol of success and wealth. Mr. Richard Vance was a billionaire known for his ice-cold demeanor and zero tolerance for nonsense. He was ruthless in business, efficient in routine, and had little patience for emotions. His staff knew him as Mr. Freeze, not just because of his name, but because of how he froze out feelings. Among the dozen employees that worked in his massive mansion, there was one no one paid attention to, a 24-year-old maid named Maria Santos. She had been working there for just 4 months, quiet, soft-spoken, and almost invisible. Maria wore the same uniform every day, patched in places, and her shoes had cracks near the soles. Yet she never complained, never came late, and never took extra breaks. But there was one thing Mr. Vance had noticed recently, and it irritated him. Maria kept checking the fridge over and over again. Sometimes in the morning, sometimes after cleaning, she'd quietly walk to the fridge, open it, skim through the shelves, and close it. She never touched anything, but her eyes stayed glued to the containers and expiry dates. It was strange. One afternoon, Richard came back early from a business meeting, frustrated after a deal went south. As he walked through the hallway, he noticed something from the corner of his eye, Maria, once again, standing at the open fridge, staring. He marched in. "What the hell are you doing?" he snapped. Maria jumped, slammed the fridge door shut, and backed away, her face pale. I was just. You were just spying. Stealing. Looking for leftovers." His voice was thunderous. "No, sir. I was just," her voice cracked. "You're fired," he barked, without letting her finish. "Pack your things. Get out. I don't need a thief or a spy in my house." The other staff looked on silently as Maria choked back tears. She didn't argue. She didn't beg. She simply nodded and walked to the staff quarters. By nightfall, Maria was gone. Richard tried to return to his normal routine, but something about her silence stayed with him. Not guilt, just curiosity. Why didn't she defend herself? Why was she doing that? 3 days passed, and then something strange happened. Mrs. Clark, the longtime housekeeper, approached Richard. "Sir, if I may," she hesitated. "What is it, Mrs. Clark?" "I know you don't like to be questioned, sir, but about Maria." Richard frowned. "She was going through the fridge every day. I saw it with my own eyes." "She wasn't stealing, sir," Mrs. Clark said softly. "She was checking expiry dates. She used to take the expired items home, not to eat them herself, but to feed the kids in her building." "Kids?" Richard asked coldly. "She lives in a shared apartment in a rough neighborhood. She's been feeding 3 motherless kids from down the hall. Their fathers are drunk. She never asked for help. She just quietly took what you were going to throw away. That's all. She said, expired yogurt or bread is better than nothing." Richard stared at her, his mind numb. Mrs. Clark continued. "She also used her own pay to buy them medicine last week. She had a fever that day, but still came to work because she didn't want to lose the job." Suddenly, the silence in the mansion felt colder than usual. That night, Richard couldn't sleep. He stood in front of the fridge himself, staring not at the food, but at the truth. How could he, a man with more money than he could ever spend, throw away food while someone risked shame and job loss to feed hungry children? He remembered the way Maria trembled, how she didn't protest. She must have thought no one would believe a poor maid. He didn't feel guilt. He felt ashamed. Maria's apartment was tiny, with peeling paint and a broken heater. She lived in a cramped room on the 3rd floor of a building where the elevator never worked. But it was home. It had been 4 days since she'd lost the job. She had $12 left and had skipped meals so the neighbor's children, Leo, 6, Chloe, 4, and baby Lily, could eat. When there was a knock on the door that evening, Maria thought it was her landlady, probably asking for rent again. But when she opened the door, she froze. Mr. Richard Vance stood there, in a black coat, holding 2 large paper bags. She didn't know what to say. "I need to talk," he said. Maria stepped aside, unsure. He walked in, placed the bags on the small table. "I misjudged you," he began. "I accused you. I humiliated you. I was wrong." She stood quietly, eyes moist, heart racing. "I know why you were checking the fridge now," he continued. "I had no idea. Mrs. Clark told me. And I couldn't believe it at first, but now I do. I'm not here to say sorry only. I came with an offer." He gestured to the bags: groceries, fresh produce, medicine, bread, baby formula. "I want you to come back. But not as a maid. I want to sponsor your education. You have the heart this world needs. I want to offer you a scholarship through my company's community program. You'll get full tuition for whatever you want to study, and a job in our nonprofit after that, helping families like yours." She couldn't speak. Her legs felt weak. "Why?" she finally whispered. Richard's expression changed, softened. "My mother used to clean houses," he said. "She died when I was 12. No one ever helped her. No one believed in her. I guess I saw her in you. And I realized maybe it's time I start doing more than just signing checks. Maybe I need to be kind, like she was." Maria wiped her tears. "I don't know what to say." "You don't need to say anything now," he said gently. "Just don't lose that heart of yours." A week later, Maria returned not as a maid, but as a student, in turn helping the new food donation program Richard launched, inspired by her story. The mansion's kitchen was now a hub where surplus food went to shelters instead of trash bins. The kids she fed? Richard enrolled them in a private school. And Maria? She became the director of the program 3 years later, with her degree in community development. People say money makes the world go round, but kindness makes it worth spinning. Sometimes the quietest people carry the loudest stories. Maria didn't beg, didn't explain. Yet, her silent kindness changed a billionaire's heart. If this story moved you even a little, please like the video and subscribe to Echoed Tales for more powerful tales that remind us, even in a cold world, a warm heart can change everything. True kindness doesn't come from money or status. It comes from seeing someone when the world looks away. Like this video and subscribe to Echoed Tales for more powerful tales that remind us, even in a cold world, a warm heart can change everything.